Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall, Friday the 7th of October 2022. In today's Millwall news, we have a friendly against a Danish team, Brøndby IF. So Millwall to host Brøndby IF in November friendly. If what? If what? So Millwall will welcome Brøndby IF to the Den for a friendly match on Saturday, the 26th of November, with a kick-off at 1 p.m. With the Sky Bet Championship taking a break across November and December for the 22 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, Rowett side will prepare for the resumption of the league the following Saturday at Sunderland by taking on the Danish Superliga side in SC16. Brøndby, winners of multiple Danish league titles and cup competitions, are regulars in European football and have previously played in the UEFA Champions League. The boys from Vestlandet currently sit 10th in the Superliga and face a trip to Randers FC this weekend. Tickets selling and streaming details for the fixture will follow in due course. So there you go. What do you think of this? Interesting, no? Instead of watching Tunisia versus Costa Rica, bin that off and go and watch English side take on a Danish side at a Den. Not bad, eh? Interesting stuff. So they said they were going to do it, and they did it. I think, if I remember correctly, these were one of the options that I was speculating, because they said we were going to get an international team as the friendly before we started the league. The last game of pre-season was supposed to be an international team, and that didn't happen. And they said, well, they're hoping to get a foreign team in. And I said, well, that's going to be a Hummel team, because they did that with Macron teams before. That's how they get the link. They got the connections with that company. And I believe Brøndby do have a Hummel kit. So there's a connection there. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Not bad. We'll see how cheap the tickets are. And well, it says they're going to stream it, so I assume if they're talking about streaming, I guess they will be streaming it. So interesting stuff. Moving on now to some comments from Gary Rowett. Take it out. Let's see what he says. LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. Millwall boss had contemplated defensive switch 2 or 3 weeks ago. See that? So now he's saying, "Oh no, there's nothing wrong with 5 at the back. That's not why. Well, that's not the reason why we're having problems." But now he changed it. It's like, "Oh well, I was going to do that anyway. You know, I was going to do that all along." But even though he's saying, "No, it's 5 at the back. That's fine. What's wrong with it?" Let's read it before we judge him. Let's read it. Gary Rowett has revealed he had been mulling over a move to back four for the past few weeks before finally making a switch in Millwall's 1-1 draw at Rotherham. The Lions chief had predominantly gone with wing-backs and 3 central defenders. Indeed, he goes with wing-backs and we play the ball through the middle. Genius. But against Rotherham on Wednesday night, he brought in Sean Hutchinson. Who's Scott Hutchinson? Sean Hutchinson to partner Jake Cooper with Murray Wallace and Danny McNamara as fullbacks, not wingbacks, fullbacks. Rowett has hinted that reverting back to his old system is not out of the question, particularly at the Den. Only Norwich and Sheffield United have taken more points at home than Millwall, out of the clubs to have played 6 times on their home turf. So here's the thing. So he's saying the reason why our home form is so fantastic because of this amazing system of 3-5-2 that he's playing, or 5-3-2, because it depends if you're attacking or defending. So that's why our own form is so great. But for the away form, It's not the system. It must be something else. Then he changes the system, and we play a lot better. The opposition, even though they are rubber and not very good, they only have one shot on target, which is the penalty the referee gave them. So, maybe he's got a point. Maybe to be fair to him, maybe. I don't think the reason why our home form is good because of the formation, but that formation might be good at home, and the other formation might be better away. I have said you need to set up to play one way at home and one way away. They are not the same thing. They are different games. And all of this trying to find the perfect 11. This is our first team. They play all of the games. That's not how it is. You need to set up tactically, play different ways at home and away. So maybe the formation is that. We'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow. So asked when a change of shape crystallised in his thoughts, Rowett told the South London Press 2 or 3 weeks ago, actually, really. If you look at our fixtures, we've lost 6 games to the top 6 before Wednesday night. So it was a big decision to make. I wanted to give the very best chance to make it out back of being sure. Indeed, that was another thing. I don't know if you've seen Dan at Lions TV. He put up a little graphic of the table, of the championship table in the top 6. We had lost our 6 defeats that we have are to those top 6 in the table. So, have we played and lost the best 6 teams in the league? You could argue maybe, but Reading, that's kind of a... Maybe they just hit the right amount of form. Maybe they've figured something out. Because they don't have a lot of money to spend there to work on the players that they got. So they got better, and now you probably just wait. Coventry did this last season. They were really good, banging it away at the top of the league, and as the season goes on, they get injuries and things like that. The players get tired, and then they start to go down the table. But then we might have played Reading at the wrong time. We played them while they're in the top 6, and we've lost to every team in the top 6. So we've lost maybe games that we should have lost when you look at it like that. But then that's kind of soul crushing as well, because we're trying to compete to get in that top 6, and every team in the top 6 beat us. Like, really, there wasn't any close games. We lost quite handily. We weren't really in it in any of those games. We either win really well or we lose really badly. So, having lost to Blackburn, I just thought, what have we got to lose? Particularly away from home. We were continually losing games away from home, and at some point, we had to try something different. I don't want to keep changing formations. Sometimes that lack of continuity can cause you not to get results. At home, sometimes having a bit more on the ball, over the bag, gives the crowd momentum and it gets your wing back higher up the pitch. But we don't go down the sides of the pitch. We go through the middle. Where's Zion Fleming playing? Is he playing in the middle? Well, why are we going down the sides of the pitch? Because we're not. But away from home, if you don't pass it well enough, you don't get up the pitch, then you see your forwards get isolated and you don't create enough. Back-to-back victories for Swansea have seen them jump from the lower reaches of the Championship into the top 6. Millwall have not produced... Why is he talking about Swansea? Millwall have not produced successive league wins since the end of February and start of March, part of a 5-game winning streak. What is this story? Millwall have not produced successive league wins since the end of February and start of March. Oh, when we had a 5-game winning streak. Okay. Asked about Swansea's rapid ascent, Rowett said, "That's why I don't get carried away at this stage of the season. We're 4 points from the bottom 3 and we're 4 points from the top 6. Last season we've won 5 games on the spin and it suddenly propelled us to near the top 6. It's trying to keep in the pack and not get too far away from the action. when you're not particularly playing as well as you'd like. If you put a couple of results together, then we know what this division is about. You're never going to be far away from the top 6 if you put a 2, 3 or 4 game streak in and pick up points. That's what we need to do. Our problem has been when we win a game that we nearly always lose the next one. It's really difficult to build those points up quickly. You've got to win back-to-back games at times in the Championship to get in those top areas. Millwall have gone behind in 10 of their 13 matches this season, only going on to draw 2 and win 1. But they have won all 3 fixtures when they've taken the lead. Exactly, that's what I was saying. When we win, we win. When we lose, we lose. We've shown a little bit of resilience, but we can't keep needing to do that, said Rowett. Since I've joined the club, I'd imagine our record after scoring the first goal is pretty good. Like most teams, it's been a big problem for us, and we need to eradicate it. If you get that first goal, then it's game on. Statistically, the first goal is in a championship is pretty big. For us, it is absolutely huge. Indeed, indeed, indeed. So, moving on. Pardon me, to an injury update ahead of tomorrow's game against Middlesbrough. Millwall boss provides update on Ryan Leonard's injury. The 30-year-old put in a number of exceptional performances before tearing his hamstring at the end of August. Rowett has confirmed that Ryan is still a couple of weeks away from resuming first-team training. The versatile midfielder has faced a number of injury problems since joining Millwall in 2019. He tore his hamstring back in August ahead of the Lions' 1-0 defeat against Reading. Den has missed their last 7 championship matches as a result. Mason Bennett suffered a similar injury 2 weeks earlier in a 3-2 win against Coventry, which, with the forward returning to action for the under-21s on Monday afternoon, he also featured off the bench against Rotherham United on Wednesday evening, playing the final 14 minutes of the game. It means that Leonard is now the only injured player in the senior squad, and Rowett believes that his return may have to wait until the latter stages of October. I think Lenny is a little bit slower, he said after the draw in South Yorkshire. He hadn't quite healed properly on the last scan. I think he's probably still going to be a couple of weeks away from being back in training if all goes to plan. So there you go. So only one injured player going into the game tomorrow. So here we go. 11v11.com, it's back up running. We have the head-to-head between Millwall and Middlesbrough going all the way back to the very first game in the FA Cup in 1904, played at... That would not have been played at the Den. That because we didn't go to the original Den until 1920. So does anyone know where that was played? Probably in... Would that have been the one in North Woolwich? I don't know. But those first 2 games would have been played on the island, north of the river. And the first one was a 2-0 defeat. And as you can see, so after the early stages in the 1920s, we lost a couple of games and drew one. There's a sea of green, win in the 60s and the 70s, and even in the 80s and the 90s, wins and draws. One defeat in 1973, but absolute killing it at the Den. Absolutely killing it against Middlesbrough. But then, what happens? Middlesbrough, for some unknown reason, get a massive injection of cash put into the team. They get improved, they get upgraded, they get into the Premier League, they get big, they get Ravanelli, they get Janino. Do you remember all that? They go crazy. Gareth Southgate. He was a manager then, was he? When they got into 2 cup finals and got relegated the same year. Crazy, absolutely crazy. They got the new stadium, brand new stadiums, hosting England, Riverside Stadium, replacing Ayresome Park. Part of that, what you call modernisation, the modern world. Ayresome Park is gone, disappeared, no more. And as you can see, after the fanfare and success, they slipped down, but they're still much improved. We were spending, while they were in the Premier League, we were dossing around in League One, trying to get out of that hellhole. And we come up to the Championship, they come down. They're now better than us. They're beating us at the Den. 2010s absolutely smashing us. 3-1, 5-1. Remember when they were trying to get back up? I think was it for them or was it for Pompey? Paul Merson playing. I think it was for Portsmouth. Yeah, he got a standing ovation. So I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but he did used to play for Middlesbrough as well. But yeah, and then obviously they failed to get back up into the Premier League for many years now. And they're kind of languishing in this division. And we started to beat them again back at the Den. 2017, we won 2-1. 2018, draw. We did lose in 2020. The last two games we played against them, a 1-0 win in March 21 and a 0-0 draw last time out in March 2022. So what's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know. Is this trend of them coming to our place and winning, is that gone? Are they been knocked down a peg or two? They appointed a manager who they thought would take them up, Chris Wilder. Had a bit of buzz on his name, a bit of shine. That shine has been absolutely knocked off because he's not doing too well with them. Struggled. And I'm going to show you in a minute, actually. Well, why don't we do it now, actually? Let's do it now. So here we go. Okay. While that's loading, if it will load. Match facts. Millwall have seen under 2.5 goals in 6 of their last 7 matches against Middlesbrough in all competitions, so not a high scoring affair. Middlesbrough have lost 5 of their last 6 away matches in the Championship. This is why the geezer got sacked. Their away form is absolutely dog shit. Pretty similar to Millwall, as it were. And I think, actually, Millwall and Middlesbrough, if I'm correct in saying that, anytime there's like an FA Cup draw in the third round, we're always next to each other. Because I think we are alphabetically, Millwall is the next team under Middlesbrough. So we're always next to each other in FA Cup draws and anything alphabetical. It's always Millwall. There have been under 2.5 goals scored in Middlesbrough's last 3 games in the Championship. Middlesbrough have lost with a 1-goal margin in their last 3 away matches. So they keep the score down, but they lose by 1 goal. I don't know what's happening in this website. It's being kind of stupid. Oh, now it's loaded. So here we go. These are the last 6 matches at the Den, as we've already gone through. Evenly even. 2 wins for us, 2 draws, 2 wins for them. We've scored 6, they've scored 10, 14 yellow cards for us, only 9 for them. Okay, now, as we scroll down, here's the table as it stands. Pretty similar, huh? We're 16th, they're 18th. 2 teams scraping, trying to get up that table, get away from that trap zone at the bottom that will send you back down to the League One mediocrity. And we've won more than them. We've won 4, drawn 2, lost 6. As I said before, 6 defeats coming to teams in the top 6. We've scored 13, they've scored 14. We've conceded 17, they've conceded 16. It's all looking pretty similar. Have a look at this when I click on this. Away form. Middlesbrough are one of the 3 teams who have worse away form than us. That is why their manager got sacked. And that is why a lot of people want Gary Rowett to be sacked. Because this is fucking dog shit. And when you think the fans that go away, they're spending more money. They're not spending it with the club, they're spending it with the other club. But they are supporting your team. They're travelling away. They're spending more money than someone who just has a season ticket or someone who just goes to every game now and then. They're spending a lot of money and they're not happy about the results here. But can you imagine Middlesbrough fans feel? Look how similar they are. And you can see why the pressure's on Gareth Rowett, and you can see why the pressure's on Middlesbrough. And we're very, very similar teams, and I'll show you for why again. Boom. Home form. Same. It's the same. Two teams who are exactly the same. Home form is fantastic. Up in the playoff zone for the home form. Away form, relegation. Garbage. Absolute dog shit. Haven't won a away game yet. Is it time tomorrow? Now, they haven't got a new manager yet. They got a caretaker manager. What has he changed? Has he changed anything? I don't think so, because if we look down here, they did beat Birmingham, but again, it's a home game. They've been winning their home games, so everyone's like, oh, the new manager, caretaker manager, he's doing really well. He's doing what's been going on anyway. They beat Sunderland 1-0 at home. They drew with Rotherham 0-0 at home. I think that was the result that got the geezer the sack. Because you see the other day how shit Rotherham are. They didn't have a shot on target. They did have one shot on target. The gift of the penalty that the referee gave them. That was it. That was their only shot on target all game. So they could only draw 0-0 with them. Now you can say, well, they're keeping clean sheets, but at home. If we look at, I'm going to switch up now to away games and home games. So home games for Millwall, away games for Middlesbrough for the form. They failed to score at Coventry. They failed to score at Reading. They did score at Stoke, QPR, and Watford, but they conceded plenty still. So they haven't kept a clean sheet away in the league so far. So we should be scoring tomorrow. We should be. And you can see here for Millwall, failed to score against Reading, failed to score against QPR, only kept a clean sheet against Stoke and Cardiff. Did score 2 against Stoke, scored 3 against Coventry, scored 2 against Cardiff, scored 2 against Blackpool. So when we score a couple. When we don't score, like when it's going against us, we don't score. The chances that we're going to score and lose, probably not. But what can you do? So here's the strengths and weaknesses. I'm not going to call them all that, but we've got more strengths and more weaknesses, but they've got very weak. Defending against skillful players. Do we have any of them? Zion Fleming? Defending against counter-attacks. So there you go. Match forecast. Middlesbrough will dominate possession, likely. Okay. So, what is the prediction from WhoScored.com? What did they say? As you can see here, look. So they reckon they're going to go with the same formation. 4-2-3-1. That we played against Rotherham, which hopefully we carry on playing that. If he changes it and we win, I don't care. But we'll see. But you can see 3-5-2. That's what they play. Is 3-5-2 a dead system now in this league? Does it work in this league? Garrett struggling with it. Middlesbrough struggling with it. Does it work at home but not work away? I just showed you both teams' home form is absolutely stunning. and their away form is absolutely dog shit. Is 3-5-2 not a formation to play away from home? Maybe something's going on. So, oh yeah, Isaiah Jones is back. He was, I think he was suspended or something, so he should be back now. I do think he's going to make a lot of changes. He made 6 changes because it was a Saturday, Wednesday. Now we've got Wednesday, Saturday, so I do expect a number of changes. There's the match facts again. Prediction. Let's get into the prediction. Dutch midfielder Zion Fleming announced himself on Wednesday night as his long-range thunderbolt rescued a point for Millwall against Matt Taylor's Rotherham. The Lions have won 2 their last 3 home league matches and now face a managerless Middlesbrough side. Interim boss Theo Perkovic guided Middlesbrough to just their 3rd championship win of the season on Wednesday, as Chuba Akpom goal proved enough to beat Birmingham. Borough will now look to improve on their return of just 1 point from 5 away league games this season. Why are they struggling away? Is the interim boss going to do anything about it? Does he know why, and can he change why? What are we going to do? Playing the formation we play has worked at home, except against Reading and QPR, who are in the top 6. So what is happening? What is going to go on? Now they say Millwall won, Middlesbrough won. So we're going to score. But clean sheet wise, not going to keep a clean sheet. Interesting. Now you've seen George Long, the games that he's played. He hasn't kept a clean sheet yet, has he? And they've kept him in there. He's had 3 games now, hasn't he? Blackpool, Blackburn, and Rotherham. So I don't know if something's going on. Is Biakowski injured, or are they playing long until he signs that contract? And as soon as he signs the contract, he's back on the bench. Are they trying to scam the young man? I don't know. But we will wait and see. Will Long start again? If he does, will he keep a clean sheet? Maybe not, because he hasn't so far. Can he keep a clean sheet? Something for him to work on. Anyway, let's get into another. Before I give my prediction, let's get into David Brun's prediction. Of course, from SkySports.com. Where are we? Probably somewhere near the bottom. And here we are. So he reckons it's going to be Millwall 0, Middlesbrough 1. I can't see that. I think we're going to score. I could see us scoring 2. Again, clean sheet. If Long starts in goal, I'm not too sure about us keeping a clean sheet. So if we do win, we're going to need to score 2 to win 2-1. But 1-1 is on the table, very highly likely. Wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility. So I am going to say, I'm going to guess and say I think it's going to be I don't know why, but my optimism's back. I think it's going to be Millwall 3, Middlesbrough 2. I think it's going to be Millwall 3, Middlesbrough 2. I think there's going to be a red card as well, because it is a full moon this weekend. Yes. I'm going to go Millwall 3, Middlesbrough 2. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.